so the first thing we're going to put back together today is the slide. Sometimes it can be a pain in the butt with these little parts. And you can lose parts. You're going to want to use something like this, screwdriver, pretty wide. And let's get our parts. We will need the parts for the, let me put them down here. This is the parts for the safety. That's a part for a safety. You're going to need your screws and your levers, okay, for each side. Okay, and you'll need these here are for your safers, like a lock. A lot of times I'm modifying, but in this one I'm not going to do that. Okay, we will need our bolt. Okay, we need our bolt. We'll need our firing spring, our firing pin and spring. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. We will need the back piece, which is the lock for the rear. Let me move this camera a little. And we will need this pin here. Okay, so let's get started here. Let's go ahead and first thing I'm going to do is put these parts in. This long piece here will go in this way here. Okay. You have this little half cut off piece here, looks like that. I'm going to kind of drop that in there. Just to get a monkey around with a little. Just a little half piece, half moon, or whatever you want to call it. You gotta get it in there. Usually goes in easier than this, but here you go. I think it's. Okay, it's in. Then what you're going to want to do is take this part here. See how this goes? This part goes down. And you're going to want to get your, they're marked on the back of them right and left. And you basically are going to do something like this. See how that is? And you're going to take it, you're going to drop it in there. There's like a little cutout, it'll drop right in. Put your screw in, and then get your screwdriver. I just use a bit for now. Just put it like this. Okay. Monkey it around it, make sure it's tight. Okay, that's why you want to use a wide screwdriver, because you don't want to bend the screw. Now, it will help putting a little oil in there. Oil it up. Then go ahead and get your other side, right? Oh, let's make sure we don't get... Okay. Get our other side here. We're just going to go like that. Okay. And you're going to drop it in there, and there's a cutout in there that's it's going to fall right in. It's not a big deal. We already oiled it, so we don't have to do it again. You're just going to screw it in. Okay. And I would just finger tight it, you know, and then just make sure both sides go down when you go up and down. Okay, so we know that's good, right? Okay, see. Now we're gonna get our bolt, and we will need one other part here. We need this part here for the let me get a towel here for the stabilizer. We'll get a paper towel here. So this here like this. This there. Okay. What I would do, I'm going to go and run a little paper towel through there, because this might have some, I'll make sure it doesn't have any polishing compound or anything in there. Yeah, it should be okay. That looks good. And then I'm going to do is take a blast of oil, like I did. Get it in there. Take this back in there. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. It looks good. Now we're going to go ahead and put our stabilizer portion in. Okay, which is right here. Okay, so what we're going to do is you put this down in there like this. Remember, there's a half moon in there. I'm going to take this and this. Easiest way to do is to put this part in first. Something like this. Right in there, and hold it down with your finger. And take your stabilizer, slide it in, and the extractor has to be pointed just about like that when you're going in with this. Also make sure. Okay. Okay, right about like that. Okay. Hold it down, and then underneath here, slowly bring it up, and you'll see it open up. This has a little groove in it. It needs to go in this way because your firing pin has to go through there. So you want to make sure that groove is in there. You may have to use your tool to widen it out a little. Sometimes you have to do that. There you go. See how I made that a little wider like that? Okay. Then hold your finger there and pull it out. Pop this in. Sometimes you got to wiggle. Okay, so that is in. So now we have the bolt in there. Good. Okay, see it's in there now? And that's where that's supposed to be. Make sure it's just level. Okay, something like that is good. It looks okay. Now take your firing pin. Okay, there's spring. And by the way, I replaced the spring kit on this. And when you put this in there, it's going to go in like this. You'll see it's going to be springy. See how springy that is? You'll see. You can just lay it like that. You're going to put your locking and bring it down until it just catches the end of it there. See how it just caught the end of it? Oh, let me correct this lighting here a little. It's kind of crappy. Okay, so then you're going to go ahead and take your all-in-one tool here. Press it down in, and it should snap here. And then just push it in, and it's in. And there you go. You're pretty much in. So now you have the slide kind of put together, as you can see, and we're ready to put on the sight. So let's get out our sight here. This is our sight. Okay, see? So we are going to put our sight on now. I need a Allen wrench to do this. So let me get my Allen wrench. I have it in my little toolkit here laying around somewhere. If I can find my tools. I'm a little disorganized today because I lost some screws for the computer, for the gun, and I'm gonna have to order them. It's a pain in the ass, you know, losing any kind of screws or anything. Find my parts here. So what you're gonna do is you loosen them up. Just gonna go ahead and slide it in there. Actually, it feels a little bit better because when they plate it, gives a little bit more, and you could just tap it with something. Just here. Tap it. Okay, so it's pretty much lined up. As you can see how that looks. That's the sight, the fiber optic. And then you're just going to want to tighten it on there. Little screw in there. Get it in there, and you just tighten it, and then you get this one in there, and you tighten it. Okay, so it's tightened down. So this is actually my slide for my Desert Eagle, which is all done. As you can see, it's all set, and that's for my stainless steel Desert Eagle. I think it turned out really good, and it looks great.